Hi, here I am. Good evening, everyone. Happy Willingness Wednesday. I am your coach, Bvon Squires, and today we are sponsored by Spirit Source Connection. I am just so excited about being here. I've been looking forward to being here to talk to you guys today all week. You know how excited I get. And I have been running around like a chicken with my head cut off because I just moved into my new home this week. Oh my goodness. I closed on a house on Friday, February the 10th. Actually, it was Thursday, February the 10th. And I am just so excited about that happening in my life. About 6 months ago, I began to manifest this home, this beautiful home that I'm living in. I began to imagine what I wanted it to look like. I had been looking at a bunch of different homes, but this is the one that had everything that I wanted all in the same place. I began to imagine the backyard and stepping down into the grass and that the garden setting in the backyard. I began to imagine that and just kind of started manifesting it. Next thing I know, I was dreaming about it when I was asleep. And so the next thing I know, this house that I have here has exactly the same garden that I had been thinking about, imagining, and dreaming about. And so I know for sure this is the home that God has for me. This is the home that was manifested through my dreams and through my intentions. And I am just so excited to be able to share that with you guys tonight. It just really works. It works when you put your best foot forward. It works when you have a positive attitude and when you do your very best, which kind of gives us an idea of what we're going to be talking about tonight. But before I go any further, I want to say if you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are so welcome here. This is a safe place. And if you are returning, I want to say thank you so much for continuing to support me. Thank you so much for showing up here week after week and allowing me to pour into you all this wonderful information about how you can become not only a better human being, but how you can become a better multidimensional spiritual being, because that's exactly what you are. And you do have supernatural powers. Now, I do want to let you know that the things we talk about here, you're not going to talk about this at normal dinner conversation. And they're definitely not going to teach you about it in school, although I wish they had. Learning about our spirits and our spirituality and the multidimensional the multi-dimensional person that we are, is really really good for us, and it helps us to take advantage of this life that we have been given to the fullest extent. And so that's what I'm here to help you do, not only to grow you up but also to broaden you out and to help you become your very best. So earlier this month, we embarked on a series called The Four Agreements, and we've gone over all three of the agreements. And so tonight is the fourth agreement. And so tonight we're going to be talking about the fourth agreement, which is always do your best. Now, I don't know about you, but there was a time in my life where I didn't know what my best was. I didn't know what my best was. And I don't know if you had people, maybe telling you that your best wasn't good enough. I had people telling me that my best wasn't good enough, or the job that I was doing wasn't good enough. And so I began to judge myself very harshly at a young age. And perfectionism kind of set in on me, because I thought that I needed to be perfect in order to be liked. I thought I needed to be perfect in order to be loved or to be shown any kind of emotional attention. I needed to be perfect. Now I don't think that. Now I realize all I need to do is do my best. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. This fourth agreement is do your best. And the one thing about this agreement, when you enact this agreement, you are actually working on all the other agreements as well. If you want to be impeccable with your word, just do your best. If you want to not take things personally, just do your best. And if you want to stop making assumptions, all you can do is your best. And no one can fault you for that, not even yourself. If you do your best, guess what that does? When you do your best, it alleviates the opportunity for the inner critic or the inner judge to judge you harshly. Because even if your best isn't 100%, you need to know that that's okay. What I do in the morning when I wake up, I do somewhat of an inventory, a self inventory. This is something I had practiced doing and something I have been doing over the last 18 years. So this is something that's well under my belt. This is a habit that I have ingrained into my mind, into my spirit, into my being. Where am I? How am I doing? And so what I do is I give myself an evaluation. Where am I mentally? What am I thinking? Is there a pressing thought that's going on in my mind? Is there chatter going on in my mind? What is my best today? Is it 100% or is it maybe 30%? Because, see, our best is on a continuum. That's what I need you to understand, because some days you're not going to be at 100%, and that's okay. Let's say, for instance, you went to bed and the baby cried all night. Well, when you wake up the next morning, you're not going to be at 100%. And so it would be, unfair to expect yourself to perform at 100% status as you would normally perform. Let's say you're only 30%. That's okay. As long as you rock that 30% out and you do your very best, you have nothing to be ashamed of. You have nothing to feel guilty about. And then there won't be any self judgment. We just want you to do your best, right? That's all we want, is to do your best. Now, one of the things that I had to watch out for myself when I was thinking about doing my best and how I was going to apply this particular agreement to my life, doing my best, I have to understand that when I begin to compare, ooh, coach, did you say compare? I sure did. See, when we compare ourselves to the next person, we're always going to either measure ourselves either too low or too high. But it's never going to be a fair assumption, or not going to be a fair assessment of who we are when we compare ourselves to other people. And so just because Susie over here can type 50 words a minute doesn't mean that my 47 words a minute is, mediocre. If that's my best, then that's my best. And that's all that is required. That is all that is required for me to feel good about myself, is that I do my best. And so I need to stop comparing myself to Susie over there, who probably got all 8 of her hours of sleep last night, right? Well, you didn't get all 8 of your hours of sleep last night because guess what? Something happened. Your furnace broke. I don't know. But for some reason, you and Susie are not playing on the same level today. So it's not fair for you to compare your efforts to Susie's efforts, or Sam, if you're a man. So, what I want you to help you understand here is that your best is definitely going to fluctuate, and that is okay. That's okay. See, doing your best is it doesn't matter what the quality is, right? We just want you to do your best, and it's not about judging your best. It's about just doing your best. And so you want to do your best because it's something that you want to do. You want to take pride in yourself. You want to take pride in the job that you're doing, so you're going to do your best. I don't know about you, but when I was going through school and I aced a test, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I aced that test. I did my best, right? Well, the same thing happened. Ooh, hold on, guys. Uh, there you are. There you are. And the same thing happened in that algebra class when I got a C. I did my very best. Now, I didn't get the lowest grade in the class, but I didn't get the highest grade in the class either. And a C was passing. Even though I wasn't pleased with it, that was my grade. That was the grade that I earned. And so what I did is I learned from that experience. That's what we want here. We want to learn from the experience. When we don't reach the mark that we would like ourselves to meet, we need to take a look and see why we didn't meet the mark. Now, if we've given our best, we know that that can't be a reason why we didn't meet the mark. So we learn from the failure, if you will. And it's okay. Failure is not a bad word. Failure means that we just need to do it differently next time, need to pay better attention next time, or we just need to try harder next time. That's all that means. But we learn from it. See, we learn from it. So the next time when we go and take the next test, then that Pythagorean, what is it? What is it called? Pythagorean theorem or something like that, whatever that thing is, didn't get me the second time around because I learned where I went wrong and I was able to correct that and go back in and get that B the next time. Okay. So that's what I want to help you to understand is that we learn from our mistakes. We learn from the failures so that we can do better the next time. Okay, so you have to understand that everything is alive and everything is moving in motion all the time, and we have different situations and circumstances and events that happen in our life, but we just want to make sure that no matter what, whether I'm happy, whether I'm sad, whether I'm sick or well, I'm doing my best. Because see, what happens is when I don't do my best, then I tend to not feel so good about myself. And so I don't know about you, but I blame myself, I judge myself harshly, and then I punish myself for not meeting my own personal standards. I don't know if that's what you do, but that's what I do. And so to keep from beating myself up, I just have to give myself a break. And I want to tell you to give yourself a break too. You're not going to be firing all cylinders every day, 24/7. It's just not possible. So give yourself a break. Okay. And so now, I just want to also let you know that as you practice this particular agreement of doing your best, you're going to get better at being impeccable with your word. You're going to stop gossiping and spreading emotional poison around. You are going to be stop taking things personally so that you can have a better outlook about life and a better outlook about yourself. You are not going to be making assumptions. Hey, because you know what? Who's got time to be making assumptions about someone else's life? Go ahead and just focus on your life and do your best, and you are going to come out a winner. I'm telling you, this is the way it's done. You focus on you, you do your very best day in and day out, and before you know it, you have something to show for it. That's like Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump wasn't all that brilliant. You know, he didn't have all the best ideas in town, but guess what he did have? He had work ethic and he had the ability to feel good about himself. He was happy about life, you know. As simple as he seemed, he was so happy about life and he did his best in everything that he did, and he got the rewards to show for it. And so that's what I'm trying to help you to see here. If Forrest Gump can get the best out of his life by doing his very best, you can get the best out of your life by doing your best as well. And so now, doing your best, you're going to live vigorously. You're going to live intensely. You're going to be productive. And you're also going to give yourself to your community and your family the best that you have to give, because that's just who you are. That's who you're going to become if you're not already that kind of a person. Okay. So I just want to help you to understand that your best is good enough. That's what I need you to know. Your best is good enough. And what I also love about my best is when I do my best. When I do my best, I can go boldly to the throne of God and say, God, guess what? I honored my part of the deal. I honored my part of our relationship. I did my best. Now I need you to multiply my best and to press it down, smash it together, shake it together, and just make it something really magnanimous, because that's what God can do, because he's supernatural. He's the creator. He can do anything. But see, that's why it's so important to have the supernatural power, the supernatural source in your life, because when you have done your best and there still needs to be something done, God will come in and he will sure you up. He will take over where your best left off and finish the deal, and you will come out smelling like a rose. You will come out 10 points higher. You will come out better than you could have ever imagined. And that's why it's so important to have, the creator of the universe on your team. I know it makes a difference on my team. That's just like something that happened to me last week. I have the new finance coach, okay, guys, because I'm learning about my finances, and it's never too late to learn about your finances. As long as you're earning an income, as long as you're on this planet, you need to know what your money's doing, okay? You don't need to be one of those kinds of people, where did my money go? You want to know where you sent your money and what you sent your money to do. And so this finance coach is working with me. And so we decided that I wasn't going to use my credit cards. We were going to just do things differently. Well, as it turned out, there was some arrangement that I had made to have one of my bills transferred to a different part of, to a different pay cycle so that we can balance things out. Well, the lady told me, she says, "Oh, I am so sorry. Your bill has already been generated for the 8th of the month. We can't do that this month, but we'll be able to do it next month." Well, then there was an emergency that happened with my dog, and of course, just things happen, right? Things happen. And so I was so afraid that I was not going to be able to make it without using any of my credit cards. I just knew I wasn't going to be able to make it. But what ended up happening is I spent my money wisely. All my investments, medical, dental, everything was all my responsibilities were taken care of. My spending account, my gas and grocery account, all of these accounts were all funded. Everything was great the way it was supposed to be. But there was this one thing, this bill that's going to come out on the 8th instead of the 17th. And then lo and behold, after I said, "God, I have done my part. I have spent my money. I was a good steward of my money. Now I need you to do what you can do in this situation. I trust you to take care of me." And sure enough, the lady called and said, "Oh, Miss Squires, I am so sorry, but I know you thought your bill was going to come out on the 8th, and guess what? It's going to come out actually on the 17th." So I could not have done that. I could not have done that. Even though I am a spiritual being with supernatural power, I cannot control other people. I cannot control processes. But the God of the universe can. And so that's what I'm trying to help you to see is when you do your best, when you just exercise your extreme best, God will show up for you. He will show up and take over where your best left off and take you the rest of the way. So I just want to help you to understand that when you start feeling like you're not giving your best or your best is not showing up for you, do not stop giving your best, right? Just continue to give your best, because when you give your best, you just never know that energy that you're bringing out there is attracting your best back to you. Woo! That's so powerful. Isn't that powerful? And that's just like if you're out there not doing your best, guess what kind of energy you're attracting back to you? Not your best. And that's not what we want. We want to make sure that we are attracting our best back to us and that we are giving our best to everyone else and in everything that we do. That way we can feel good about who we are as human beings. That way we can feel good about who we are, in reference to the people that we're connected to, our coworkers, our family members. Who wants to be on a team with someone who's not willing to do their best? I know I don't. That's just like one time. One time this guy said to me, "Oh, that's good enough." That's good enough? No, it's not good enough until you've given your best. Now, once you've given your best, then yes, it is good enough. But oh, I can do better, but that's good enough. No, please don't have that attitude. Not about yourself, not about who you are. Because if you have that attitude in one area of your life, it's going to carry over into the other areas of your life. When you let yourself down and you start allowing yourself to be okay with mediocrity, guess what? That's the kind of life that you are setting up for yourself. And so I know that's not what you want. I know you want to do your best. And so I am here to help you. And so if you want to call me, you're more than welcome to. My number is 317-721-4315, or you can email me at b.vonsquires@gmail.com. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for us this evening. I am so happy to have been able to bring this message to you about the fourth agreement. Do your best. Always do your best. When you do your best, you have the opportunity to create a new dream for yourself. You have the opportunity to create a wonderful, fantastic life for yourself when you do your best. When you do your best, you have something to feel good about. See, I used to feel good about, all these kinds of things, but not anymore. What I feel good about is when I do my absolute best. What I feel good about is when I have a project and I rock that project out to the best of my ability. That's what makes me feel good. It makes me feel good when I can give my best to something and then stand back and say, wow, look what I did. I did my best. And so I want to be able to help you do the same thing. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any cards to read to us tonight because, like I said, I've been moving all week. But I will promise you that next week, if you come back next week, I will have a card for you from the four agreements for the fourth agreement. Actually, what I'm going to do is go ahead and post it on my Facebook and on my YouTube so that you guys can have the benefit of having that card. So next week when I see you, I hope you come back. I hope I said something tonight that gives you some reason to come back. I hope that this message about the fourth agreement resonated with you, and that if it did, you will like, share, and subscribe so that everyone in your network can have the benefit of the same information. Don't you want all your friends to be able to be impeccable with their word and not take things personally and not assume, and most importantly, to be able to do their best? Those are the kind of people I want in my life. And so if those are the kind of people you want in your life too, then you make sure you get this video out to them, okay? All right, guys, that's going to do it for me this evening. I thank you so much for allowing me to be your coach. I am just so honored and so thrilled to be here with you every week. And I will look forward to seeing you again next week right here on Willingness Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. next Wednesday. All right, guys, I love you. Goodbye. Oh, before I go, I want to tell you, I am going to be praying for you. I am going to ask God to bless you real good. And anything that you are manifesting, I'm sending my energy right over there to you so that I can help you lift you up and lift that manifestation up and bring it right to your doorstep. I am so happy for you. And if you have manifested something that you'd like to share, I can't wait to hear about it. Please call me or email me and let me know how all of this wonderful information is impacting your life. Okay? All right, guys, this time I'm really going for sure. See you next week. Love you. Bye.